Be the one to break the music, it's alright. I never wanna bring you down, no. I will always be the one.
We're back here at the Fisher Protocol. Thanks for joining us. If you can, like or subscribe down there. If anyone wants to send in any kind of constructive feedback, that would be great. You can put it in the comments or email fisherprotocol@gmail.com. I'm Ethan. I'm back with Tom. Hey, Tom.
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
It's been about 3 weeks, something like that, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And we spun the wheel last time, and it landed on Who by The Who. That reminds me, I want to make a quick note. Talk about title and album cover.
Yeah.
Because I got issues, things to say about that. But let's just dive right in. It was recorded in February to August 2019. It was released in December 6, 2019. Now that I'm talking about it, I remember being generally upset because Pete had said that it was going to be out maybe for Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's the Father's Day release, and then he was like, no, it's going to be Christmas.
Of course.
Yeah. And I do remember seeing the cool videos he put up of the recording process. And the big difference is this being, he used a producer guy instead of himself producing the record.
Yeah.
Which is
The
kind of big
videos
difference.
were nice. Just it seemed like Pete was happy and into it and excited about the process. So when Pete's feeling good, it's always fun to be involved.
And that's when we get excited about an album, right? Me checking my watch for something called Floss, I've heard about for 4 years now, or something like that. Yeah. What's going on there? So before we get into the track by track, what do you think of? Do you like Who?
Overall, yeah, I actually do. It's only the second album that's come out, in my lifetime. So it was, I was just excited to hear new stuff from him. So it was, I enjoy the album. I think it starts strong. And it finishes a little soft, not my, it's a little weak on the end, but deluxe version's important to have. But other than that, though, I think it's a good album.
How many copies of this CD do you have?
I have vinyl, and I think that's it.
So, yeah, I definitely ended up getting 3 CDs. Yeah. I actually bought that for this. I actually was in a record store like a week or two ago, and that was one of the Who albums they have, and I was just like, oh, I have to buy it because I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And did yours come with an extra record?
No.
Mine came with an extra white vinyl that has like My Generation, Baba O'Reilly.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't sound like they're exquisitely mixed copies of those tracks.
Of course.
It's just a mishmash of the Who's greatest hits, like on a white vinyl.
Right.
But, it's fun. It's good. Big gatefold. I like it.
Yeah, I think I got mine like the pre-order from the website or whatever. Just, whatever.
And I remember the big record company push to make it like number one.
Right.
So they had the guys out there, like on every interview show, they had Pete signing millions and millions. And like in the last 2 days, like both of them were like, we're old and tired and we don't want to do this anymore, but thank you for your hard work. And it got to like number 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, it got close. Yeah, but didn't quite get there.
Yeah. Okay, man. Well, just so people know where I am, I was apprehensive coming off of Be Lucky because I really don't like Be Lucky.
Yeah.
And after like the Super Bowl and Be Lucky, which aren't happy things for me to talk about, at some point you want the music to be good and relate to you, but you also kind of don't want to be embarrassed as a Who fan, as someone who wears the stuff all the time and just is like, I don't know why. And I wasn't disappointed. There's some really good songs on there.
Yeah.
And just to warn, just as everyone again, we're never going to say we don't like a Who album. So I think this beginning review part's kind of weird, but I like to do it. I'm going to start with you pretty much on all these. it kicks off really good with All This Music Must Fade.
Yeah. Yeah, good song. Overall, I enjoy it. There's like some fun nods to the past lyrically. It's a little cheeky and snarky. You know, I think the opening lines like, you're gonna, you know, I know you're gonna hate this song kind of thing. Um, you know, maybe it kind of gives me like a Who by Numbers kind of vibe. Um, and it's just classic Pete Townshend with, you know, some snarl on it. It's kind of talking about how all the music is the same, and you know, we're all stealing from each other, we're all borrowing from each other. It's, you know, at the end of the day, there's only 12 notes and there's only certain combinations that work, kind of thing. So, um, stylistically, I like the song, and lyrically, I like the song as well too. I think it's very classic Pete. Um, yeah, it's a good one. Great track to start off an album for sure.
I think it's definitely a better opening track than, what was it, Fragments?
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
It comes out with a bit of defensive writing. You know, it's the defensive, like, well, there's going to be a lot of people talking shit about the Who, and why are they putting out a record? So we are going to tell you the truth, and I don't think at this point they do care. I mean, they care. They care about pleasing fans, but I don't think they care about critics so much.
No,
I could be off base about that, but you know, Roger really dragged his feet on wanting to record the record, like a lot. But I love the song, and it's where I think he first started using, I could be totally wrong, yanga-dang as like the way he describes his playing, and it later became his name on Instagram. It definitely, you know, the first thing I think of is Music Must Change, and All This Music Must Fade, and that harkens back, like you said. You know, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, One Direction did a song. I think it was One Direction, and it had the same chords as Bob O'Reilly or something like that, and someone wrote about it. And then Pete just got attacked from all sides by One Direction fans.
Yeah.
Like, Pete got attacked. And
Right.
and he was basically like, first of all, yeah, but second of all my songs are stolen from someone else, so they can steal all my songs and I don't care. And he's one of the few people that, you know, there's not a bunch of like suing going on when something comes up. Like, you know, Tom Petty or his company was kind of notorious for that. Like, he sued the Red Hot Chili Peppers, he settled with Sam Smith. You know,
yeah, there's just only so many combinations. You know what I mean?
And Tom Petty has them all, and so does the Who. And but more to the point, I like the song. I really like the song, and it's the earworm from the album. And I love I love the Who Gives a Fuck at the end.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, it's perfect. Yeah, that makes me so happy.
Is that a Technique 1200 I see back there behind you? That turntable?
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet. Anyway.
Yep.
Ball and Chain. Where are you at?
Let's see. I definitely, the first half of the album I'm really solid on. You know, Ball and Chain opens up with this, you know, this classic like arpeggiated kind of thing. You know, Pete kind of like raking the strings down by the bridge. Definitely a nice little bluesy number. I know it was kind of a he did this on a solo album or like a solo release. It was Guantanamo Bay originally. So I was a little disappointed to have like a new song that I'd already kind of heard. But it's a fun little song. Pete plays really nice guitar on there, just kind of little fills. The drums left me wanting more, but that's all right. But yeah, it's just nice to hear Pete kind of you know, not sitting in the background all the time. Yeah, I like the song a good bit. But like I said, though, I was disappointed just to have like a new song that was already out there. So it kind of let me down in that sense. But it's still a good song, though.
Did you listen to the Truancy? It was Truancy, like a Pete Townshend compilation.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that version before listening to this, or in comparison?
I didn't this for this review.
I did, and you can really tell that he wanted Roger Daltrey to sing the song when he's singing the song. You can kind of tell he puts on that gravelly, low voice that he does sometimes when I feel like he has a song that he wishes Roger Daltrey was singing on.
Right.
Which happens sometimes, and that's why you get like After the Fire, which, you know, at this point we have Pete Townshend versions of, we have Roger Daltrey versions of, and we have Who versions of. You know?
Right.
So, I kind of like the song. I do like the song, but I don't. You know, there's two songs on here where like these buzzwords come up from, basically having to do with Gulf War stuff, or, you know, 9/11 stuff, and I'm kind of over it. I'm not, you know, over what happened. I'm not trying to get political, but, you know, it's not something I want to be brought back into 20 years later by when I'm turning on a Who CD.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, I have a note that I'd probably skip this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's probably going to happen later in the album too. I bet you can guess which one that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I don't want to get wise. I'll go first here.
Yeah.
I'll just read my notes. I like this song a lot. It goes back to, you know, the kids. It's looking back on their career, kind of. It's basically saying he doesn't want to get old, because wise is another word for old, I think. And yeah, I like it, but I mean, I think the bridge is kind of forgettable, and that's what leaves the song not in the forefront of my mind when I think of this record.
Yeah, and it's agreed. I enjoy the song. Is it my favorite? Maybe not. Could I see, you know, this fitting in for, you know, like a Jimmy piece in Quadrophenia? Sure. I can't stand the auto tune little blip in there. It just, I don't know if Pete's trying to like keep up with the times or whatever, but yeah, auto tune on a Who album wasn't something I thought I'd ever really have to deal with, but yeah, it's on this one.
Now, let's face it, we don't know if they use auto tune like traditionally, where we can't tell,
Right? Yeah.
or they use it as the effect.
Right.
Thanks, Cher. Appreciate that. Great.
Yeah.
Detour, where you at?
It's a good song, I think. I remember like right off the bat kind of thinking it was a little cheesy. But hey, let the Who be the Who. If they, you know, they can do whatever they want. You know, there's definitely some fun little nods in the lyrics to, you know, some of the older songs, and I love the bass playing on this song. The harmonica, I can't remember what type of harmonica it is, but that's a fun little listen to as well. Yeah, it's a good little song. Yeah, I have no problem with it. I don't skip it. Yeah, just I guess they're just trying to have some fun and sound like the Who back in the day, maybe.
It's funny you mentioned the bass, because my big note here is this song is definitely missing Entwistle.
Yeah.
So that's funny how two people can hear that and think that the different things sometimes. But maybe they were trying to get that vibe, and that's why the bass stuck out to you.
I think so. Yeah, it just, there's definitely some movement on the bass, you know, just kind of what he's playing. Yeah, Entwistle would have absolutely murdered the song. Whoever played on this track did a good job, and maybe like an imitation or whatever. But yeah, John would have been a much better fit for sure.
And I don't know if it's Pino or not. I didn't go that deep into the notes. I know he played a lot on the album, but I also know that Pete's the kind of guy that will never tell a musician how to play something. So
yeah,
you know,
good or it's not.
Especially live, like when Pino came on, he didn't tell him to play like John or anything, you know, because you don't do that, right?
Yeah, and you can't.
And you can't. And if he hired someone that wanted to sound like John or did a copy of them, he wouldn't even say it. He would just get that person. They would play like him. Who they have now? John Button.
Yeah,
is their bass player. He's pretty good. I like him. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And the biggest callback is to their name, the Detours. Detour.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure I know for a fact you like beads on one string.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like a ballady type of song. Um, Definitely my favorite song on the album. I think it's very like futuristic sounding with the synth. Um, it's I like the message in it. How we all there needs to be some unity. We need to act like we're all connected. Um, Roger's vocals are absolutely he just crushes it. Good relatable message, great composition, killer vocals. What else do you want for a song? I Easily the best song on the album, and I think maybe the best song between uh, this and Endless Wire. I don't know. I can jam on this song for some reason. It just I don't know. I'm a sucker for these types of songs for sure.
My notes are kind of the same. I really like the synth is what I was saying on it. It reminds me of After the Fire for some reason. I guess I brought up that song twice now. I also wrote it could be a great solo Townsend song. And I like when Roger has an excuse to get really tender because he likes to do that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He wants to show his sensitive side. And I do think this song has kind of like almost a political message, but I guess when it's not too overt and the song is better, that stuff goes out the window for me, and I just like it. So yeah, man, it's a great song, and it's in the running for me with I'm a big fan of Street Song. So it's kind of between these two for me.
I agree.
Yeah. So, but we'll get to that. But first, we got to go with Another Tricky Day. I'm sorry. I mean Hero Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good song, and I enjoy it. I looked up each song. I kind of looked up some notes to see if there was anything online. So when I looked this one up, I actually found this, and it kind of helped me a little bit because I wasn't sure exactly what it was about. So what I read online was the song is sung from a perspective of a man who sings in a band called Hero Ground Zero. Pete Townshend originally wrote it as the opening orchestral track for the opera titled Age of Anxiety. He had sent the tune to Roger Daltrey back in 2016, and the Who vocalist loved it. So Townshend decided to include the tune on their 2019 album. He explained to Mojo magazine, I wanted that on the album to create a link between what I'm doing with Roger and the Who and what I plan to do next. So,
so I guess he's doing Age of Anxiety next.
Apparently, hopefully that's what he's been working on through quarantine. So, but it's a fun song. I enjoy it. It's just one of those like random songs that has a side story that you're not aware of. About a band called Hero Ground Zero. I don't know. I don't skip it. I enjoy it. Not bad, but it's, I don't know, maybe a little stale or just kind of done before. I don't know.
I believe, was this played at the Madison Square Garden show you went to? Like, that was the first time, and I think he sent me a clip of it, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Those words, Hero, Ground, Zero, are so tied to the events, to me, of 9/11 that I don't think, words have meanings through time and they change. And when you put these three words together for me, that's what it goes to. I didn't read any of that. I didn't read any of the notes. I could have done that research. Maybe I was lazy. No, I'm being high-minded. I don't want that to muddy any of my own thoughts. No, I'm kidding. It's a bit too much of those like buzzwords, three buzzwords in a row for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but I did notice something, and I started to notice this throughout the album. There's a lot of like George Martin, like All You Need Is Love and orchestration on a lot of these songs. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's Pete. I don't know if that's a producer. I don't know, a lot of like flute going off Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It could be even Rachel Fuller too. You know,
Okay.
a lot of her like solo stuff's kind of, you know, she had the classic Quadrophenia for Pete, and I think her album about like the animals or pets or whatever it is,
Requiem.
it was very classical. So
Okay.
um, maybe that's her. I don't know.
But but it's really Beatley. It's like really
Yeah.
really Beatley. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad or not.
Yeah. I think. Don't quote me. I think. I don't know if I have it written down anywhere. I think Pete was talking about this song. He was saying it's kind of like Led Zeppelin, ELO, and somebody else. Like the band Hero Ground Zero is like in that kind of like weird genre mix. So I don't know if he tried to emulate that for this song or what.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to say anything about ELO ever. Even though I got thoughts, people.
Oh yeah.
Soundtrack is Xanadu. Check it out. Anyway. Street Song. I love Street Song. I love the rhythm of it. I think it's a great song. There is a hint of Come Sail Away by Styx in there, which doesn't make me feel like a good person for spotting that, but I did. Also, the bridge has more Beatlesque, backing things. And I think that actually comes into play if we talk about the album cover later. But this kind of synth on this album never stops. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's this pumping synth on the bottom of it. And, for a while I was thinking that's not what the Who is about, but since Who's Next, that's all the Who is about. Like, there's always this Pete Townshend synth under everything. And so now that when I hear it, I really, really like it. And I think the drumming is great on Street Song.
Yeah.
I love the singing. I love Street Song. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, great song. Kind of reminds me of Fragments. Maybe like a better version of Fragments. But I think composition-wise, it's very similar. But yeah, it's like a nice little call to arms. This was another one I had to do homework on. Just I wasn't sure what it was about. It's about a fire in a public housing project or tower or whatever in London, and like 72 people died. And
he did a lot to help those people afterwards.
Yeah, and Pete, it kind of affected Pete because he knew the area well, and I know Pete and Roger both were affected by it and upset about it. But apparently Roger wasn't sure about the song as far as it just kind of being politically charged. And but no, I think it's a great song. This is definitely probably my number 2 on the album for sure.
And I didn't know it was about that, and it kind of makes me like it a little bit more because I know they were affected by it, and I know that especially Pete helped out a lot with it afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, now we reach a kind of a perplexing song for me at first. Because we're listening to this album and it's got these great songs on it, but then out comes this 70s 80s Stevie Wonder kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I'll Be Back, and before I ask you what you think about it, I just is Roger playing harmonica on that? Is that him?
I don't know. I remember seeing videos of Pete with the harmonica in his hands, but that might have been one of the other songs. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who was playing it. I have to look it up.
Tell me what you think, and I'm going to go get the album to find out.
Yeah, I got you. Not sure if it fits the album overall, but I enjoy it in the fact that maybe it's a nice little breather. Pete's vocals are super smooth and silky. That's he sings, he's just one of my favorite singers, does a great job at it. Kind of maybe like psychoderelict style song, with the vocoder voice, thing in the middle. But yeah, it's a good little song. I actually enjoy it. Does it fit on the album? Maybe not, but I don't really care. It's fine.
Okay, so check this out. I found it out. This is for the whole album. I'm just going to read this one little paragraph. Lead vocals by Roger Daltrey. Lead vocal on I'll Be Back, guitars, harmonicas, some percussion, backing vocals, synthesizer tracks, violin, cello, hurdy-gurdy, and various other effects by Pete Townshend.
Nice.
So, sorry, Roger. I'm going to play harmonica on this one. You know, kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read a verse from it. And I think I pinpointed something. I was young, Rick guitar, long hair, big car. No, a big star, just happy to go far, not too far. Love my town, love my boys, down at the Gold Hawk Bar, parkas and boxing boots. Faces were doing toots. We had no cash for that. We had some hash for that. Lost my virginity. Kate took the piss out of me. Didn't care much who doubted me. Then I found dignity with you. This is a Mayor Baba song, as far as I can tell.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a revelation. I just think I'm really smart. I didn't know if it's in an interview somewhere, but that's what I got from it.
It is, yeah. And I looked it up, and it is about Mayor Baba and just kind of like this reincarnation thing of, what you do now maybe, affects things later down the road, that kind of thing. Right
on. So I think we're on the same page. We like it.
Yeah.
It's not as hooey, you know what I mean? But when he goes for hooey, you get all this music must fade, and when he follows his muse a little bit, you get this, and I like them both. I love anytime I get to sing the praises of Simon Townsend.
Yes.
So now we have Break the News, written by Simon Townsend.
Yep.
I've been to Simon Townsend for years. I've said this before. Among Us is a great album. Denial is a great album. He's got a bunch of great albums. It does kind of remind me of some like 90s one-hit wonders, like Kryptonite or Closing Time. But I'm a sucker for those kind of songs.
Yeah.
And let me know what you think, and I got a question for you.
Yeah, right off the bat, it's kind of like a Mumford and Sons kind of like foot stomper kind of thing. I really do enjoy the song. I thought it would have been a good single. Just if they could kind of lean off the Mumford kind of vibe. I think you could have gotten some younger people into it a little bit. It wouldn't be very representative of the entire album, but it's a good song. Lyrically, I was kind of looking it up. It's kind of about if you had to break bad news, you kind of keep it to yourself. This guy who only break the good news to his significant other. It's definitely one of my favorites on the album, despite how different it is stylistically from maybe what the Who has done in the past. But with Simon doing it, obviously it is a little different.
When you were doing your research, did you figure out how that came to be? How he decided to even consider one of his brother's songs?
I didn't see any of that now.
Because that's weird to me. I mean, I know that when Denial came out, I think that's the name of the album, that Pete put this like surprised, review out, a little paragraph review about it that Simon didn't know he was going to put out, and singing his praises and how much he enjoyed it. And I'm sure it had a lot to do with recovery, and growing up in the same house with the same mom, and that, all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it really touched him. He's respected his brother as an artist for years. He tried to get him started with I'm the Answer, I think. I don't know if he produced it or not. So it's kind of great to see this whole full circle thing with him actually doing a Simon Townsend song on a Who record.
Yeah.
Even though the way it is still the best Simon Townsend song. I'm just going to say that for me.
Yeah.
All right, man. Here's where we get gloomy. Yep. Yeah, dude. Tell me about Rockin' and Sad.
Yeah, this is the downslide of the album. I think we've already peaked. And it goes down from here, unfortunately. The beginning of this song, I just absolutely kills it for me. if I make it through the beginning without hitting next, it kind of comes back a little bit, and I enjoy it a little bit. Uh, Pete's playing is nice, fun, but I wish, if the second half, or I guess the harder part of the song, might be fun to see live. Just kind of Pete kind of pounded into the guitar. But yeah, isn't one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, this line, these two words are in the ether, which was my big earworm from the last album. I think I texted you after we reviewed it and said, "In the ether will not go away from my brain." And I think he wanted to make something out of that, and I don't like it. Period.
Yeah.
But there's only one song I don't like more on the album, and it's called "She Rocked My World." I'll just read you my notes for it, and I'll let you talk about it. Not into it. Way to Die album.
Yeah, no. I think my notes were the one song I skipped.
Yeah.
It just it has nothing to do for me. There's no redeeming qualities about it. Nothing for me.
As far as bonus tracks go, I think this "Gun Will Misfire" would probably be better in these. If that one song replaced these two, the album would be better.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I can see why "Danny and My Ponies" is not on the album.
Yeah,
but I like it.
Yeah, it's a good song. But yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. And then this Gun Was Fire. It's all right. It's never got stuck in my head. The song's kind of busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know. And then Got Nothing to Prove is that old Who song that they recorded a long time ago, and I guess they tweaked it up or finished it. It feels weird on the album to have it. And it just isn't very Who-like. It got shelved in 1966 or whatever it was, and probably for a good reason. So,
the
last little bit of this album it falls really flat really quick.
But Got Nothing to Prove has extreme historical value and significance, and I think it's really interesting to listen to. But he said he needed 30 years for the technology to catch up to finish the song, and I'm like, probably could have done it. Probably could have done it 20 years ago. I don't really know what you're talking about. But then again, it was really 1960, 80, really Beatley, really Sgt. Peppery, and there's a lot of this album that has some of that in it. Which takes us to this album cover.
Yeah.
Never been more disappointed in an album cover or a name of a Who album ever.
Agreed.
And as soon as it came out, like another friend of mine and I started playing, like, where would we switch out the pictures? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really kind of reeks of, we did the album, we're happy with it. These things are so here today, gone tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to care that much about the cover or the name.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think just how many, it's just people aren't buying physical albums, whether it's CDs or tapes or vinyl or, everything streams. So if you don't have to put a ton of effort and time into the album cover, like whatever, like once you hit play on Spotify and you turn off your phone screen, you're not looking at the album cover anymore. So, it just, if you gave me 15 minutes and I was 10 years old, then I needed to make a Who album and I had clip art, like this is what you could do. Just so far away from any kind of Who album cover before.
Even Endless Wire, had original art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is just all like pictures of something that mean something to Pete. Which, I don't know, yeah, it's like the eel pot, I was just looking at it. It's, Eel Pie Island and I don't know.
I don't know. That even has the picture of like. I mean, I don't know. What's the guy's name? I know his signature is under there. He did Sgt. Pepper.
Peter Blake.
Peter Blake.
Bloke.
I'm not taking anything away from him, and I don't want to. Maybe they were throwing him a bone. I don't know why. I don't know how many exact things Richard Evans has done, who cover-wise. I probably should know that. I don't know why they just don't give it to him again. Do you know what I mean?
I know he passed away at one point. I don't know how long ago that was.
Peter Blake?
Yeah, no, Richard Evans.
No, he's alive.
Is he?
Yeah. He like still does stuff online. He did the interview with Roger for one of their Saturday concerts. Okay. He's still around.
But the guy, what I thought, maybe I'm, the guy, oh yeah, sorry, I'm thinking the wrong person. I was going to say whoever did like the Tommy album cover, that guy passed away though, right?
And that was a singular piece of art too. You know what I mean? That was a singular massive piece of art and kind of different. Now I'm thinking about the covers and they're so, well, maybe that's another show. I made a Spotify list. Okay. I named it Endless Who. And guess what this is? This is a 50-minute CD with the 2 albums of what I made. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to know how you think I know I'm missing 1 or 2 of your songs on here. We're going to open with All This Music Must Fade.
Yep.
Mike Post theme. Street Song. God Speaks of Marty Robbins. Man in a Purple Dress. Beads on One String.
Perfect.
Black Widow's Eyes. It's Not Enough. Break the News.
Okay.
Then we go into Wire and Glass. We take out Unholy Trinity. We take out Trilby's Piano. We do the live Wire and Glass playlist.
All right.
And we end with After Mirror Door. We go into Greyhound Girl, and that's the end of the CD.
All right.
I know I'm missing an Endless Wire song or 2 of yours in there. I forgot which one.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of what it would be.
Yeah. But that's a sweet 50-minute, and I used the Live at Leon for Greyhound Girl.
Yeah, that's
on there. Oh, I think I left off Tea in Theater, which you like a lot.
It's a good song. I enjoy it, but it doesn't need to go in that playlist for sure.
Yeah. If you're a Spotify person, I'll spend that to you.
Yeah, do I have it?
Okay.
But yeah, if that was like the new Who album, let's say they didn't put out both these albums and they just put all those songs in one album, holy shit, it'd be hard to argue.
Yeah. I was like, let me make one really good album. All right, so in my main goal is to get these down under an hour because that's the thing I think keeps people from watching them. A lot of people say, "Oh, I could just listen to the album." Oh, go listen to the album. We're going to talk about it, you jerk. We're doing our rankings, so we're getting pretty easy here. Number 1 of what we've done, we got Quadrophenia. Number 2, we got Endless Wire. Who is not better than Quadrophenia? Is Who better than Endless Wire?
I think so.
You think Who is better?
I think overall.
After reviewing Endless Wire and really giving it a deep dive and doing that, like how many of these songs am I actually going to like hold on to and fight for?
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're pretty even, but if you have the opinion that Who is better than Endless Wire goes down.
I think Who's better than Endless Wire. It's tough. They're apples. They're so different, but I think the ceiling is high on Who, and the floor is low. I don't know. I think overall it's a better album.
Okay, well,
those last 2 songs on Who are awful, but not awful. But the rest of the album's pretty good. There's no Trilby's Piano on this album.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing it by which has like worse songs, She Rocked My World and Trilby's Piano, like Trilby's Piano just doesn't belong on. We've already been over this. Doesn't belong anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. This has been fun. I like these. These are good.
Yeah, that's
Good way to start a Monday. All right, let me share this screen with you.
Okay.
I
swear if the next one's It's Hard, I'll be blown away.
All right. It's not Who Are You? That's just where I did it to make sure it still worked. Here we go. Ready?
Okay.
We get to re-roll.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that was going to happen. There you go. What'd you say? Are you not?
We're to work our way back until.
Oh, right. In order. You know,
almost.
I find myself getting ready for these thinking, oh man, I can't wait to talk about Dreaming from the Waste. When's that going to happen?
Yeah.
But It's Hard.
There's definitely some songs I'm excited about, but
It's Hard is a big hole in my Who stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm actually like, I'm stoked for it.
I'm excited, yeah, because I've listened to the album, I own it, but I've never like sat down and like, all right, let's chew on this for a little while and see what happens. So
yeah, so that's gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun to get it going.
All right, man. I think we did it all in under 45 minutes. That's good.
Perfect.
Maybe I'll edit it. Maybe I won't. Hey, everybody! If anyone's still watching, I appreciate it. Any criticism you want to tell us that you love Triple E's piano and we both suck, let us know. If you disagree, if you agree, we would like to hear from. I mean, would we? Sure, why not? Send us something. Tom, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, guys, bye.
We found